make we off mind. But thank God say, my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder. Oh, yo, yo, my ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout. Oh, yo, yo, my ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses. Oh, yo, yo, my ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My ego die the political. Oh, yo, yo, my ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. This one not day off in mind. Oh, yo, yo, my ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh yo yo, my egun don't come. Oh yo yo, my people make you shout. Oh yo yo, my egun don't come. Oh yo yo. Man of the masses.
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways. But there's not. The cost of fuel has gone up.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ dódódódó. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Thank you so much for joining me. Remember to share this broadcast, okay? Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today, share the broadcast.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun diary.
Agbado Nation, just do like this.
Godfatherism.
Wahala is coming, and I'm happy to be one of the people to kind of put you on notice. Wahala ma happen, it's just about a few hours away.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ dódódódó. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
I miss you too.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí.
You are saying that this person cannot perform. Yet you are saying he in our party nonsense. I've told, if you vote party, the way you will suffer, me, I'll be here, I'll tell you, I won't suffer with you. Nothing will make me suffer with you. I know too much that I can't suffer. But I can tell you, look, you know I'm a man of God. Try to make mistake. Neither will tumble to 5,000. If you don't want another to tumble to 5,000, better tell yourself what to do. It's a word to you when you vote people who have nothing in their head. If you vote party this time, Nigerians, we go fall our hand and watch other. All the things they are suffering, am I suffering with you? I'm too connected by covenant to suffer what people are suffering. But if you vote, it's a word to you when your leader is like a child. That means any leader who will be using dampers is dangerous. It's a word to the whole land. When thy king is what? It's the Bible, I'm not the one who said it. He said, woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a They use dampers for children. So if you have a leader who they use dampers, woe to you.
The more you look, the less you see. The more you look, the less you see.
And yes,
Thank you so much. Read the caption of the broadcast. Read the description as well. Get yourself in tune into what we are about to discuss tonight. It is about to get started. Adeku inflation. They said Nigeria inflation has risen to 27.3%. Irony or Aku inflation. Motide. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun, and this is live. If you have kind of dropped your own offering, your offering is to like the video. As you are settling it, okay? Just like the video. Forget about it. That's it. Once. Read the description of the broadcasts, because it is going to be step by step. And most of it is going to be storytelling. When you see the Agbadoriansi, the Bati Dioti, the Bat Studies, the Lagos Abobakus, they will tell you to continue to cry. Meanwhile, they have been the most egberes. You know what is called egberes? Bush baby. In Yoruba land, we call it egbere. You know that bush baby where they carry mats. Majority of them, they will be screaming beside you. And when you say, Baba, is everything okay? They can't even really say. At least, a lot of you today have the audacity and the clarity of art to come out publicly and condemn the hardship unleashed on you by Tinubu's APC. Thank God for your life. Oh, you don't know what God did for you. That you are in Nigeria, facing all of this hardship and uncertainty, and you still have the courage to come public and swear for APC. Just think about those who indeed thought Tinubu had something for them, and right now they have no idea what is really happening. But yet, they cannot even publicly complain to make it worse. These days, before you can say, okay, let me see what I can do for you, people are now asking, Alaye, this APC and what have you, where were you then? Majority of them are not really getting any real support from the real people anymore. So, crunchy majority one. Egbiri, ekun egbiri. What happened? I never shop. I have not shopped for 2 days. So, what happened? You know, Koolu ni. What about the Ronukus, the Ronu Nazis? Baba, you don't judge us by election. We cannot be judged. You cannot be judging us because of our choice. All of us have choice. We did not know that they will disappoint us. Are you serious? That you did not know? And now, assuming that we know that they are going to do like this, are we going to say, Olori Buruku? Egbere, ekun legbere nsunku. So when you see them tell you that cry more, you will cry for 8 years. Tell them that you are happy to continue to cry as long as a majority of them will continue to die in silence. One guy made a video. I don't know if you've seen it. I'll come back to it.
Please, Nigeria government, you people should come to our rescue. For we will get asthmatic patients wey be say we cannot afford this. You people need to call this company back called GSK. Before, this teletype for we will get asthma for this Nigeria. This teletype is about 8,000 plus. But because say this company don't pack comot for Nigeria, look at now, I'm at the pharmacy, placing me seeing this 52,500 abba. Virtually yela wey would they buy 2,000 before. Because say this company wey dey produce am for Nigeria don comot. Now, virtually now don enter 8,005 for Nigeria. Please, Nigeria government, you people should come to our rescue. For we will get asthmatic patients wey be say we cannot afford this. How much be my salary? 45,000 naira. And me now, no, I must be taking this. Federal government, you people have to come to our rescue. Please, on behalf of...
Let be poor breathe.
How will the poor breathe? Sorry, I mean, I know a lot of you have a story behind that guy, okay? He's APC, Abobaku, and the rest of that. I'm coming back to that. I just want you to see beyond that idiot, okay? I want you to look at those who are asthmatic patients. Did you see that jump from 8,000 naira to 52,000 naira? Inhaler from 2,000 naira to what? To 8,000 abikilo pilenko. Now, here is the point, you. When APC, Bokuwari, when they were destroying Nigeria and companies were leaving, the Olori Buruku APC, Abobakus, they said those companies that were leaving Nigeria, they were owned by corrupt people in Nigeria. They should go. Other people will come. The end goal was that over 1 million companies left Nigeria. Over 1 million. There are major ones. So at the end of the day, more than 80 million Nigerians lost their jobs, joined the unemployment capital of the world that APC turned Nigeria into. Some even said there are other brands that are cheaper. Majority of them, those brands they thought were cheaper, the one they thought was expensive, they cannot afford any right now. Now look at those who are asthmatic patients in that country right now, who also have to pay that much just to breathe. But guess what? Majority of these Lagos Abobakus, the Ronu Nazis, they don't care. Because they can't even like really think about them. There's somebody that is earning 30,000 naira and asthmatic. Is that no one just gonna just stop breathing and die? If he or she can no longer afford 52,000, and this is just November, maybe by January, it is going to go to 100,000 naira. Sorry, that one is Yoruba. That means when is the poor who is asthmatic, when is he or she not going to stop breathing? And there are people who are dying because of all these little things that are life-saving, that the economy has sort of, it's not just food though. Imagine where you have to choose between food and your medication. Because if you don't take your medication, you are going to have crisis. And once you have crisis, the money that you didn't have to maintain your health for medication, you would have to go and cough out triple of that in time of emergency, or you will just die. People are dying because of that. These are the economic impact of the rogues that some of you are praying God will make them succeed. Day one that the rogues came in, he started making appointments on media. The country is broke, completely looted, bankrupted country. I have done countless series explaining that to everyone who cared to listen before today. Even though they haven't come out to explain, the level of the bankruptcy of Nigeria, they haven't told anyone. They just said there is no money. Same way Bukwari said there was no money. But he met the foreign reserve of Nigeria at 33 billion US dollars. Today, the balance in Nigeria's foreign reserve is less than $2 billion. Nobody is raising alarm. Nobody is even alarmed or alarmed enough, because you have no idea what that even means for Nigeria economy. But everybody is kind of pretending that if Tinubu is going to perform magic. Abi, Bukwari met excess crude account of Nigeria at 7.5 billion US dollars. Today, the balance in that account is less than 200,000 US dollars. 200,000 US dollars from 7.5 billion. They had no penny, they added no penny to it, and they emptied it. These are the concept of Nigeria's bankruptcy. If you want to understand it, things have gone so bad that the revenue Nigeria is generating, people are not working, which means less taxes. Here you get the few that are working, businesses are folding up. The few businesses that are operating, they are being overtaxed. Yet they couldn't get enough money. Revenue is the money governments make daily, weekly, and monthly, and yearly. Here you get. Nigeria was so destroyed by Bukwari that the revenue that Nigeria was getting, Nigeria was using 98% of the money Nigeria was generating to service debt. Not paying debt. It's not like Nigeria was paying back Nigeria's debt. No. Nigeria cannot afford to pay back a debt. So Nigeria is paying charges on that loan. And the entire revenue of Nigeria, 98% of it can only service Nigeria debt. And you are not alarmed. You want them to fund schools. You want them to fund hospitals. You want them to build roads. You want them to fund the military and train them. You want them to pay your worker and pay workers. How? So they resorted into borrowing money and printing money, not into any production that will yield money for Nigeria, not to block all the loopholes where those who are stealing money. No, nothing of sort, right? Nigeria ended up with over 150 billion US dollars debt, including Sukuk. Sukuk is the Islamic loan, and they usually price it as a loan that is without interest. It is a Sharia to charge interest on loans. But yet, Nigeria owed the Sukuk people more than 4 billion US dollars under Bukwari. Of course, they did some road though. Here you get the Saudi people that brought the Sukuk to Nigeria. What they did was that give us the road you want to construct, and we will do it with the money, but you will owe us. So they managed to do some road though, Islamic loan. There was nowhere Bukwari did not borrow money from. Baba, after stealing, they borrowed money from everywhere. Under Bukwari, Nigeria was like this. Every time the world sees Nigeria, this is what they saw. Beggy. For 8 solid years, anywhere and everywhere they could see money. Sure you get, to the point that they started looking into dead people's accounts. Once they realized that the owner of this account is dead and he's not operated the account for the past 5-6 years, Emefiole who were giving Bokwari all of this economic idea. The head of that committee is Pastor Ruga Ikene Shatabandu. That's a fake Pastor Ruga Agbowoni Baba Oja. You remember him? Oshimbade. Cut the long story short, the way that did that to Nigeria, even me, when no the government can, I told you, I can give you list. Malamu and the Anko, Adisirika, Isaleko Barack Obama, Fashola, Ajangba is also Ajangba, the Albert Einstein anyway. All of these looters, including this one who come from Rotifmi, Amochi, the Ubima Judas Iscariot. These are those who looted and offloaded from and bankrupted Nigeria. But if Tinubu is not saying that, so one of their idea of going to Saudi Arabia was that, listen, there is another guy in town. This one is even so unique. He's bringing Nigeria to Islam. Saudi knows the tricky. You can, a guy man cannot guy another guy man. Sure you get? Because except if you are actually the mother that murdered their own mother. Those things. Sorry if I'm speaking. What I mean is that street language, okay? A guy man cannot guy another guy. Sure you get? Saudi Arabia, they are careful with their money. And when it comes to Nigeria, they know where they are investing their money. And there is why. And there are those they trust. They come package Koolu to go and tell them that Nigeria is now Muslim ticket. Nigeria is Muslim. And Nigeria really needs help. Sure you get, they needed money. I don't know what Tinubu's foreign policy is. And I can bet my left yansh that there is no bat study, abibat idiot that can tell you that this is exactly what Tinubu's foreign policy is. The same Bambiala Sharia Abu, this one, is the same idea they are telling him, packaging. So that some people will now bring their billions of money and just bring it into Nigeria. Bokwari couldn't do it. So they thought packaging Koolu, Mr. Bulaba, we convince them. At the end of the day, they no return. He just left Gabon. I think he's arrived Abuja now. So eventually he left Riyadh, went to Jeddah to go and pray for Nigeria. And from there, he said the media should at least say something nice about Nigeria in order to attract investors. It has been 6 months now. I hope you know that. One single dollar has not been invested in Nigeria from any foreign investor. Of course, you have seen them take pictures here and there, Abi. Now, let's go back to what the world knows. And Tinubu and his gang believes that the world is also as dark as the brains of those mofos that they currently brainwashed in Nigeria, by the way. Make it simple. Nigeria is in hot soup. And if you are those who really came to come and save Nigeria, Nigeria Constitution says to form a cabinet. In fact, do you know that what Nigeria fraudulent constitution says is about the executive arm of government in Nigeria? When you form government, it's like your government is apolitical. So you must choose ministers from 36 states in Nigeria, including Abuja. That is constitutional requirement. Now, these rogues, they are usually, you know that all of these are just for political patronage, political cronyism, cronyism, where cronies are given the chance to come and sit at the table where they are sharing your common patrimony. It is not really about what to serve you, right? Koolu came, a country that they have bled to death. Koolu came with the biggest cabinet nomination ever in Nigeria's history. These are the people who came to save you, to save the economy. The ones that said subsidy was gone, and therefore, whatever hardship you are facing right now is just temporary. It is not. He formed the biggest cabinet with 48 ministers. Also, he appointed those he called the SA, SSA, SSSSA, SS Announce SA, different title, right? He has already appointed 1,183 people on the last count too. That's why they are saying that, be like say, those who are currently twerking for Tinubu, pretending that they are still here, or they know they will be dragged, but they don't care. So they just want Tinubu to see them dragged and give them appointments. Now, out of all of this appointment, SSA, SSB, CSA, and all this nonsense, there is no single economic team that is actually putting together the real numbers to show that they are interested in critical areas. I mean, like for real, there is no economic team. They are doing abracadabra with your lives. Today, they don't pump $10 billion into economy. Naira and dollar will crash. Tomorrow, no, it is not true. Now 6 billion. Day after that, no, it's just 1 billion. Then afterward, you see a Central Bank of Nigeria. Well, you don't catch us. Okay? We don't have a magic wand to save Nigeria economy. Are you actually following that? Those are the guys. So they went to Saudi Arabia, cap in hand, bowls in hand, begging for money. They are offering nothing other than words of mouth like, Nigeria have population, Nigeria have natural resources. If you come to Nigeria, you will be able to do business. Forget about corruption. Forget about everything you are reading about Nigeria. Okay? Come, I'll show you. You will make money. There is money to be made. And all of that. This is the talk Tinubu went to Saudi to say. Probably he was shocked that the kind of reception he expected, or he was told that he would get, he didn't get that. He didn't sign any bilateral deal or anything there. There were no any multi-billion Saudi businesses coming together to say, okay, we are going to do this or do that. But rather, these rogues, they came and they said, Saudi Arabia has promised to invest in Central Bank of Nigeria. And I was like, what's in Central Bank they sell? Hello? Do you know what Central Bank is selling? The Central Bank is selling dollars. So Saudi will bring their dollars, give it to Central Bank of Nigeria. I say, listen, we have too much dollars. Take this 10 billion. And instead of selling your dollar for 1,200, you can begin to sell it for 300 naira to $1. We are that generous. So yeah, take the money. Do you really think that is how the world works? Anyway, it didn't work as planned, but there is a bigger problem. Or maybe not. Have you heard about, wait for it too. Have you heard about the EU, what's the EU ACP deal or so? Don't worry, I'll tell you what it means. The European Union, and when we say European Union, you know, it's about the countries in Europe, okay? And European Union being the, what do you call it, the umbrella body that is also the, what do you call it, the symbol of economy, whatever of the Europe. Don't mind all those illustrations. What that simply means is that EU, European Union. So whenever the EU, countries within the EU, decide to go and trade abroad, sure you get. So they will be, they will have a much stronger sort of, you know, backing. They will say, what is the EU? Instead of saying, what is the Sweden economy? And you say, okay, what is the size of the Sweden economy? But what is the size of all the European countries, European Union countries? economy. They say, oh, that's mighty. Oh. So they will now say, okay, we are big. Now, if we need to now go to Africa, go to the Caribbean countries, islands, and all that. So we want to make sure that we are doing business with people who don't have laws that are anti-human rights. Now, listen to me attentively when about this section I'm about to get into now. You see the homosexuality, gayism, and then lesbianism, simply put as LGBTQ and all that, right? In this part of the world, and generally all over the place, right? It's considered as a human right, your choice, kind of. So, before now, we've had countries, in fact, in that kind of a treaty and pact that they put together, they have countries, like about 79 countries, which include some in Africa, invited to say, listen, if we have to help your economy or invest in your country or do things like, normal, especially bilateral trades and all of that stuff, we will be interested in you reviewing your anti-LGBTQ plus laws. See, I have lived in the UK for a while. Before I came to the UK, no matter the little education I had, normally before I came to the UK, I never really got bothered about anybody's sexuality per se. But from where I came from, people have this deep fear that comes from the religious background and the upbringing of so many people. So, normally, where I grew up, we didn't have cases of anybody being gay or what have you. So, as a child, I never had to experience it, okay? But, while growing up as well, I realized that some of us got told or believed, including myself, that anyone, especially males, gays, when a man and a man should have a sexual attraction. So from where I come from, right, it is believed that no, there's something wrong. It is spiritual. Or that person is using it for money ritual. Now, that's why I said that from where I come from, it is that deep fear of lack of understanding when it comes to homosexuality. But some of us who have now left Nigeria and come here, we have ended up with, gay neighbors, gay cosmates, LGBTQ workmates, LGBTQ supervisors at place of work. And we've discovered that it is actually the least worry about anybody's sexual view. You know what I mean? It's like they are like a person like you and all that. So when you see Nigerians who are like, I'm not saying all of Nigerians, but majority of us will ended up having to not have that kind of deep misunderstanding of homosexualism. You know what I mean? Like, like it's not contagious or whatever, something like that. Like a lot of us got much understanding and we became more tolerant, right? And even if we were not, a lot of us have come to learn the open tolerance. Even if you do, yes, you lose your job or you lose your business or you lose a lot of things because it is not as that deep, Abi. In Nigeria, there are still homosexuals everywhere, including the lawmakers. But like I said, some of us believe that there must be something that they use them for serious ritual. And these are just some of us who are moderate from the south too. I am not from northern Nigeria. And I know there is actually law in Sharia law that if you are caught as homosexual, they will stone you to death. And that is in Nigeria. In 2014, Goodluck Egbere Jolantan signed the homosexuality law of Nigeria, that if you are caught practicing homosexuality, you will go to jail for how many years? 10 years. I am telling you all of this just so you have the background understanding of what Tinubu is about to do. And from my own understanding, they said, even though I think they said the Malawi and Ghana, they pulled out of the treaty, out of moral obligation, moral conviction that they couldn't sign it. No matter how much money they are ready to invest in their economy, they don't want the money. They can always go through other means, kind of. But you see, in Nigeria, where this fear exists, where homosexuals are still being targeted by the system and the people themselves, where you cannot group yourself and say you are homosexuals and all of that. So, and like I said, from this background, there is no real effort on the part of Nigeria government, okay, to actually protect them. And let me be honest with you, even if they make any laws to protect homosexuals in Nigeria, the Nigerian politicians and Nigerian governments, they have no real intention of protecting any homosexual in Nigeria or have the capacity to. But that is not the real thing yet. So from what we have heard, Nigeria was supposed to sign that treaty between the 9th of November and yesterday, the 15th. And if they actually signed it, what that means is that it is not because they are interested in protecting the homosexuals in Nigeria. It is simply for the money. But how would you, the Sharia North, Muslim tickets, how are you going to now deal with this effrontery when it finally comes to light that your mumu ticket, we then press your mumu button, is a scam after all? Because I am not too young to remember when Nigeria was to host Miss World beauty pageant. Now, for some reason, a riot just broke out in Kano. Because how dare Nigeria government give approval for women to come and show their bodies and all of that? The number of people killed in that riot is more than 100. Up to this moment, not a single person is serving a jail or lifetime jail or ever even convicted for that jihad that took place in Kano and some part of northern Nigeria. Jihad is only war, and it just takes little provocation or little or no provocation at all before it sparks. Listen to this. Somebody in Denmark drew a cartoon of Prophet Muhammad, and a riot broke out in Nigeria. More than 200 Nigerians were slaughtered, Christians mostly. They were slaughtered because they believed that Muhammad was insulted in faraway Denmark. It's not even Nigerian. So now that the Muslim ticket was supposed to show the supremacy of the Sharia North, I hope you would have to spend and allow the homosexuals to do their wedding, jeje. Somebody said, Mayogun, don't stress yourself. When Koolu signs it, he knows that they will never pass such laws in Nigeria. And I said, that means you still have no idea what a state capture truly means. It will happen, but that is not the real point. All of you now wait threaten people, with your mumu ticket, like the Ronu Nazis. You would have to abolish your Sharia law, the part that says you should kill homosexuals, the one that said you should stone them. Of course, the people that are watching Tinubu and his gang, they themselves probably know this too. If Saudi money no go come, EU money will come. This treaty is a 20-year treaty. So for the next 20 years, your government, all organs of your government, they will make this change. A lot of you, especially the Southerners, apart from those of you who are so religious and all of that, trust me, you will understand what a state capture means anyway. So, and if you are an homosexual in Nigeria, you have a chance to petition these people too if they give Tinubu money and their Sharia are still threatening you or anyone else is trying to harass you. This is the consequence of election. That's what they call it. They said elections have consequences. Just as you now have Agbado Nation, you see, where a lot of you are being told to learn how to adjust. Did you see this, by the way?
50 naira, 200 naira. Ebudiesu, Eshu, Yaipo. 50 naira, 200 naira.
So, somebody said that if the Wahala go start, it will start from the Sharia North. And I am like, Tinubu hasn't even started yet. You see, I know that those of you who were deceived or you deceived yourselves because of your religion, religious affiliation, on Mayegun's Diary Politico, I have told my own brethren here that, listen, you see the criminals in charge of Nigeria, they don't represent anybody. Whether you are a Yoruba from the western part of Nigeria, or you are an Igbo, a Biafran from the eastern part of Nigeria, or you are from the Ijo Ishekiri nation, as you would love to call yourself instead of Niger Delta, or maybe you are from the northern part of Nigeria, Fulani, Hausa, and the rest of the what do you call it, the tribe that are in the northern Nigeria, you say, and you have any of these criminals parading themselves as coming from your part because they are also Fulani, they are Hausa, Kanuri, Ijo, Yoruba, Igbo, and all of that. if you believe because they speak the same language like you, then that is the symptom of your mumurity. In case if you haven't if you haven't sort of told yourself that, kind of, right? If you are a Christian or a Muslim or any other religion or faith that you worship, and you use that as your connection with any of these rogues and say because he's a Christian, she is a Muslim, I believe her, I trust him. Now, that is the second mumu button that they always press. And I've told my own brethren on this platform that these criminals have no nationality. They have no patriotism. Their nationality is to themselves. Their patriotism is to themselves. Okay? The Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Ijo, Fulani, sort of a card that they are playing, those are just their meal ticket to have access to the table. It's not because of they want to represent